I may or may not have clicked the touch screen button that muted stream audio for a minute. Anyway, thank you very much, Deep, for the hydrate. I will drink. Thank you. Let me just do one thing. Wear one thing. It helps if my brain will stay focused for more than 5 seconds. Here we go. There we go. This is what I was trying to do. Right here. And then we can go over... Oh. Wait a second. What is... You can't see what I'm doing. I know. Hold on. There it goes. Weird. OBS is being dumb. Anyway, also, why am I positioned there? That's... I'm not usually that high in my chair, am I? I don't like that. I don't like that. Music's still just a touch loud. Okay, hold on, let me just... Better. Had to adjust my chair a little bit. Okay, so today... Dude, you have no idea. When I was a young lad, and no, I'm not gonna start quoting MCR. I was a tiny, like, skinny kid, like unhealthily skinny, and just very small for my age. And then over the course of like one summer, I put on like 100 pounds at a full foot, and I was suddenly like the biggest kid in school. So, I mean, I know a little bit about the growth spurts. It also kind of messed my knee up a little bit. You what I mean. I think this works. It sure does. Okay. Okay. Let me bring you guys. Where right place? Where right place? Lightning in a bottle is less elegant than what I'm doing. This? Yeah. Okay. So, let me pop over here. So this, I think everybody has seen this or knows what it is. By the way, I didn't know this, but if you just go to Chrome //Dino, you can play the Dino game at any time, assuming you're using the Chrome browser. I didn't know that until like a few days ago. Anyway, so if you don't do that, so this endless runner, very fancy. You can hit jump. Also, by the way, fun fact, I didn't know this. You can push down, and you go down faster. I had no idea. Anyway, it's just a little endless runner guy. You jump. I have an idea for a similar endless runner game with a few tweaks. Not anything crazy. It's not like a Subway Surfer. It's not like a Temple Run. nothing like that. It's more like this, where it's a 2D side scroller. Oh, also, it did actually keep my high score. I've never really played this significantly, so I'm doing relatively well for me. Because I was early. Alright, anyway. That you get the point. It's let's break down the components, right? You got some static, you've got enemies that either come up or down. In this case, there's a pterodactyl or the cactus. Cactuses come in of cacti. Cacti is, I believe, the correct plural. Cactuses have come in a variety. Let me hold on. Again, why am I in a weird? Why? What? Hold on. I don't know why I'm in a weird spot again. Weird. Oh, I know. I actually do know why I'm in a weird spot here. It's because previously I had moved myself into the top corner up here, so that I was blocking less of the Pokopia UI, and I know that it didn't get properly reset. Anyway. Yeah, I had no idea that was even a thing. You can just push the down, and it actually does push you down. So my plan is relatively simple. I think I'm gonna do something very similar to this with a 2D side scroller. We're gonna have a player controller that jumps and can go down. But I want to add the concept of like power-ups. So I have a couple power-ups in mind. I'm not entirely sure of like the probably. I'm older than most people think. I'm also younger than many people think, which is weird, but anyway. Okay, we can just get over here. All right, so I'm gonna just we're gonna just jump into it. Let's create a. Let's move this out of the way so I can. That did not help me. Can I go up just a level? Here, this is where I want it, right here. And then we're gonna call this. I don't know what we're calling this. What are we calling this? Some kind of runner? We'll just call it runner for now. That'll be fine. Forward plus. Compatibility would be good for, like, older devices or, like, web platforms. Mobile, obviously, is mobile-focused. Forward plus is kind of the good-ish. You know, like the modern device capabilities. Uses render device backend. Okay, so this uses OpenGL 3. This also uses render device and backend. Interesting. So they don't consider they consider OpenGL 2 a step down from their render device, but mobile is capable of it. Interesting. I've never really dug too deep. Should we dig a little bit here? I've never actually looked too deep into this. I've just kind of gone with the normal things. The normal kind of suggestions. So the way this works is this is the renderer. This is the rendering capabilities of the engine. So this is kind of like your starting point for any of your projects. So if you put it in like the highest like AAA quality, it's very hard to step back from that if you decide you want to then support like older devices or like devices that will have less capability because they don't have like they have like integrated graphics from like 2000. Although in fairness, if you have a integrated graphics card on your PC from 2000, there's a lot of stuff you're not running, including most operating systems. So, you know, that's like what, 26 years ago? Yeah, you're not. Anyway, So these are the renderers, and so typically I just do the Forward Plus because that's just like the newest one, right? That's like the future. That's the one that they support all the features in going forward. And mobile really is designed for like tablets, phones, more touch-based interfaces, with slightly reduced like capacity. Compatibility really is for more like embedded solutions more than anything else. You know, like the Arduino type things would probably be better if you built one of those. I don't know if people have seen them anymore, but they used to have these little kits of Arduino based like game emulators, so you could build like a physical emulation box for like Game Boy, for instance, or for like Dreamcast, Genesis, not Dreamcast. I don't know. I never played the Sega consoles or handhelds. And then it basically just is like, hey, you know, we'll stick all these Arduino bits in here, and you have to supply the ROMs or the cartridges or whatever, right? Anyway, like that would be probably better for compatibility because those are not high graphics. They're not really in depth. Now, this is interesting. This little graphic I've never seen. So really, if you're only going with OpenGL, you only can use compatibility. Interesting. Although I will say that Vulkan does most of what OpenGL does in a lot of cases, so you don't really need it for a lot of stuff. But anyway. So what's the difference between mobile and forward? It's fewer features. Renders simple scenes faster, suited for mobile and desktop platforms, used by default on mobile platforms. This renders in Vulkan, Direct3D 12, or Metal, which is the same thing as the Forward Plus does, by the way, exactly. These two sentences are exactly copied word for word here. So this really, Forward Plus is really just about the difference between mobile and desktop, because this says suited for desktop platforms only. This says mobile and desktop. So you know what? We'll do mobile. I don't have any idea how this will work. We're gonna try mobile. We're not going to have source control right now. We don't have to do anything with that. Welcome, Slappy. It's been a minute. How have you been? I have this cup of coffee, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's like a pseudo specialty coffee. It's like I don't know. It's what they call organically processed. It's got like fruit and cherry notes to it. But then this is like a darker roast of it. So a lot of that goes away, but you do get a lot of like chocolate and coffee, like the normal coffee toffee notes. And I think the fruity like ester quality is just not a good fit for it. I don't know. I think it'd be better if it were a lighter roast. Anyway, so we are here in ye olde scene. Let's start. Well, first of all, this is going to be a 2D scene, so I'm not going to play that game. I'm doing pretty good, I think. It's been a little bit weird around here lately, but I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Let's do something fun. I'm gonna hop over to the beta Godot asset store. That's store.godotengine.org, by the way. And yeah, I like this. Okay, let me show you what I'm let me show you what I'm looking at, because this is in my main browser, which, you know, I'm not going to show on the screen for some reasons that should be fairly obvious. So this is the Godot Asset Store, and I found this some time ago. This is Admirin's Freebies Mega Pack. This is a free pack available on the Asset Store. You do have to. Actually, you don't have to download? Interesting. I thought you had to sign in to download these. You don't. Okay. So, I saw this, which is like a cave parallax for 2D, and I think we could take this and run with it. I think that's a decent, yes, I am confident it very much is. Like, you look at some, like, the animation style, a bunch of, like, the actual images. I would be very surprised if it is, in fact, not Shovel Knight. At least they didn't play Shovel Knight at some point before doing it. Or, I don't know if it's, like, a straight copy per se, but yeah. So I'm thinking I might grab, like, this parallax scene. I think that might be fun as our starting background. And then the idea that I have in my head is to basically have slices of terrain that get generated, and not have the player move at all. I know that's a little confusing to some people, but I think it'll make sense. Just trust me. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna pick this guy up. I think we're going to start with this parallax. We might even use some of these other these other scenes, like this little wood scene, like kind of a forest, but like a barren forest. And then here's more of a, you know, like a mountain background with some rolling hills and trees in the background. It's got water in the front. This is probably the wrong scale for our purposes, just given how small these trees are compared to this stuff. Also, this is very much intended to be like a river, I think. So I'm gonna grab this. Let me see if this is gonna... Okay, this is probably fine. Yeah, we could probably resize the trees. Hold on, I don't know where this is gonna pop up, so give me 1 second. Well, first of all, we're gonna use a base node. Actually, yeah, we want a base node. And this is just gonna be the root scene, the root. So all we're doing is making a root node. And that will be at the origin point. I'm not gonna change the transform on that at all. And then I want to add a child node, and I think there is actually a parallax 2D, a parallax layer. I don't remember which is which. There's one of them is preferred over the other, and I thought maybe they deprecate. Okay, I thought maybe one of them was deprecated. It is. Okay, so parallax background is deprecated, and parallax layer is used with parallax. I don't know if you guys can read that at all. I just realized that's not the most visible thing. Hold on. So parallax layer. Oh, it actually says deprecated right there too, because I'm just that. I'm on it. I am on it. Yep. So I guess we need to use the parallax 2D. Parallax 2D is used to create a parallax effect. It can move at different speeds relative to the camera movement using scroll speed. This creates the illusion of a depth in a 2D game. If manual scrolling is desired, a camera 2D position can be ignored with ignore camera scroll. Note, any changes to this node position made after it enters the scene tree will be overridden if ignore camera scroll is false or screen offset is modified. Interesting. Okay. But I think that's... Oh, look, I forgot that those are... I know, like, in my brain that they do this, but it's just never clicked over that they do it. So these are experimental with the little yield warning signs. And these are deprecated with the little X signs. The little circle X's, like the... I mean, this is me being a little bit gripey here. I understand that there's rationale, but this, to me, says I'm going to close this dialogue more than, hey, don't use this. This says caution, which makes sense. This says I'm going to close this dialogue if I click on it, but it doesn't close the dialogue. Anyway, so let's create a Parallax 2D. Is there a... I think you just add children to this? I'm guessing? Oh, repeat limit. Okay. Okay. That's a little different usage than I thought, because I was thinking you added children that were like texture Rex. Like this. And the texture rectangles, which, by the way, I want to change the anchor to be fill. This guy also would like to change the... Can I change this anchor to fill? I can. Oh, here's the textures. Oh, that's the texture rect. I still have the texture rect selected. Sorry, my bad. My bad. So these are the material, texture, canvas item stuff. So this is a normal canvas item. That makes sense. Follow viewport. Ignore camera. Interesting. This might be harder to set up than I thought with the thing I have in plan, because I'm not actually going to be moving a character or a camera. You know, what did it say about that? About the... any changes made if will be over if it's false. Okay, but I'm thinking I want to set it to true. Okay, so they have an auto scroll. By the way, I don't know when they updated the look of this of these documentation screens. I think they did that when they updated the theming stuff like 2 versions ago. But I really appreciate it. I really like the way that they did this. They're cleaner, they're easier to read. For a lot of things, they're very useful. Okay, so, oh, there is an online tutorial. Ooh. Oh my. Wonderful. Yes. Yes. In fact, okay, here, I'll bring you guys in so you know what I'm looking at. Because why wouldn't I? That's silly. I just want to set the framework of this before we get too deep into it, and then I'll, start stuffing stuff in there. You cannot see what I'm looking at. Now you can. Am I not on the... Oh, I'm not on the latest stable. Sorry. This is for 4.6. The latest stable is actually 4.6.3, which is the current hotfix. I believe that's the engine version I'm in. But, okay, so this is the quote-unquote online tutorial that they sent me to. This should look fairly normal. Also, ads are going to start in about 10 seconds or so. Appreciate people who slug through them. Let's see. Okay, so they have a node, and then they have a texture rectangle, and then they have a, well, so hold on. They have a node which contains all of the scene, and then they have a Parallax 2D, which is what we have here, this Parallax 2D node, and that contains the texture rect for the sky. Then they have a sibling to that that Parallax 2D. So really, the Parallax 2Ds are the layers now. So there is no more parallax layer. There's just parallax. There's just a 2D parallax. That is the layer. There's no background, quote unquote. Can't see it. I'm doing air quotes with my fingers. No air quote parallax background anymore. That's just a layer. And it looks to me. Oh, see, and this has sprites everywhere but the backgrounds. The sky is a texture rectangle. The others are sprites. Okay. That's interesting. The backbone of the parallax effect is the scroll scale property. It works as a scroll speed multiplier, allowing layers to move at different speeds than the camera for each axis set. A value of 1 makes the parallax mode seem. Yeah, I think it is very interesting, actually. It's very. I mean, it basically, what they're doing is the background is just layered up on its own. I find that very interesting. They're using sprites for each. I wonder if that's because they want to be able to reuse those sprites, like these tree sprites and stuff, in different maps or tile sets. So like this is like the battle, like a battle scene, and then they reuse a lot of these in like a world map, maybe? I don't know. But it is interesting. You can use texture rectangles and sprites. It looks like you can do them just interchangeably. Okay, so 1 means it moves at the same speed as the camera. So this is a ratio. So if 0 brings it to a complete stop. Okay, so if we make this much lower, it will move much slower. If we make it, and a value higher than 1 makes it scroll faster. Okay. Okay, so this is the video. Okay. You can see that the sky is way in the back, and then you have these clouds, and you have these hills, and you have these trees. The trees are obviously moving much faster than the clouds are. Interesting. I wonder if that sky, and they don't, in this, they're not really telling us what this sky is. I think the sky is just the blue background. I think the sky is just the blue background. The higher clouds are these clouds here. And the lower clouds are these little mountain-shaped ones. And then the hills are these little curly bits. The ones that have the little swoop on them. Whoop, whoop. They look like they're ice cream or like frosting to me. Where they just go... Did that not work? Why did that not work? Oh, I'm very sad. That should have worked. Oh, I know why it didn't work. Hold on. I bet you it's expired. Let me try. Will this work? If I tell it to fish for you, will that work, or is it actually not going to work at all? It's not going to work at all. Okay, give me a second. Let me try something. I have a suspicion why it isn't gonna work. So let me tinker a little bit and see if I can make it work. Because it is open and it should be running. I suspect it's because it's somehow disconnected. Is it disconnected? Do not log on while on screen. This is visible. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you could tell me, man. You know what? Let's just try it again. Now that I've clicked through that, will that work now? No. My fishing isn't working. Very sad about this. I'm very sad. Oh, wait. It's not showing it, but... So, A, I forgot, like an idiot, that it doesn't... It pauses... It pauses, the actual fishing casts if you're not, if like there's a menu open, and I had it open when I tried it, so it was never gonna work. Ooh, a broken sword. Are you gonna reforge that sword and become king of Middle Earth? Is that what's gonna happen? I don't know. Could be. Anyway. Okay. Okay, so Infinite Repeat is probably fine for our purposes here today. For sizing, the Infinite Repeat effect is easier to work with when you have an image designed to repeat seamlessly. Yeah, I'm not that worried about it yet. Oh, I never opened that. Man, my brain is all over the place. I believe you. I believe you will. I believe it. You're coming after me. I don't know where that is. Is that good? I can't find it. Let me actually hop. Again, I don't know where this is gonna show. Can I do this? Yeah, I can just hide this. I forgot that I could just hide it. I mean, I could just go back to the thing. The thing. But I don't want to do that. Parallax backgrounds. Dead forest, dock, plains, snowy mountains. We want the cave. Let me grab these guys. You will come over here. Let me... Alright, I can actually come back in now. Okay, so we're going to create a folder of textures. We're going to create a folder of background. Not background, background. And then in there, we're going to just... paste this? That didn't work. Hold on. I copied it, but I lost context on it, so give me 1 second while I go get those files again. Okay. Okay. Alright, I just put them in there. Here they are. Okay? So here they are. I really wished, by the way, just my minor gripe, I wish there was a different window you could use the inspector for. And I guess you can actually pop this guy off, I think. Can I make him floating? Yeah, I can. But I'd like to have like a full view inspector in Godot. I know it doesn't work, but yeah. I appreciate you stopping by, Deep. Have a good work, question mark? I don't know how much you enjoy your work, so maybe it won't be good, but you know, we all gotta work. Okay, so this is 0. Is it not? Where did that other window go? Okay, it did update. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, you know what? Can I redock this thing? It's actually slightly more useful to have it docked right now than have it floating for presentation purposes. So here's 1. This looks like a composite image. This looks like the foreground. This is the middle. This is the back. Okay, so yeah. So it looks like 0 is like the whole thing combined. So this would be the background. This would be the second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, sixth layer, seventh layer. Now, I think I would probably put the player between 2 and 3 in this case, so that you have a little bit of like foreground type movements. I like that idea. So let's roll with that. Okay. So in here, let's go ahead and set 7 as the background. And I want this to... Can I anchor this? Do I not want to do that? Is that not what I want? I would have thought that I wanted the... I mean, realistically, what I want is just this thing to be flood-filled. But I know there's a way to do this, I thought. You gonna not let me modify this sizing? Cool. Because I thought... Transform? No. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. Because that's clearly not big enough. Follow viewport. Ignore camera. Screen offset is 0, 0. Transform scale. I could probably scale this thing up. In this particular case, I don't think it matters that much because it's just a background. Actually, 3's pretty dangably close. In fact, 3 looks exactly on. Is there an offset on this? Keep scale, texture, expand mode, keep size, stretch mode, scale. Yes. I would like it to... I actually don't care about this particular one because it's kind of a static guy. Well, okay, so why has this got an offset on it? Why does it have an offset on it? It's not supposed to have an offset on it? But, like, I mean, I'm not insane here, right? That's clearly an offset, right? I mean, there is clearly a border around the top and the side. Yes, there's clearly a... Why? Because this is at 0. This is at 0. This is not at 0. Is there just like a X position here? Can I fit width proportional? Actually, let's do height proportional. Well, I don't know why it's offset like that. It's super weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Makes me very sad inside. That's okay. Oh, position 1, 0. Thank you. Position 0. Thank you. Found it. Found it. Found it. Just about knocked my water over. Fine. Okay. So now that'll be the background level 1. Then I want to do... I want to make a new child of this that is also a Parallax 2D. That is also... this is going to be... probably ought to name these. What am I naming them? Okay, let's just take a quick peek. What did these guys name them? Okay, so these guys matched the names to the sprites. So that's probably something similar to what I want to do. So we're going to rename this thing BG color. And then we're gonna rename this to BG color. Right? And then this one is going to be whatever this thing is. This is like stalactites, columns, just like cave shadows, I guess. Cave shadows. Cave shadow. Going to add a texture rect to that. It's going to be this guy. I want it to fit height proportional. Although it does look like I'm gonna have to... You know what? Maybe I don't do that. Hold on. Because I did all this stuff to make this work, why don't I do this? And I just copy these two. Duplicate them. And then just rename them. Like, that seems like a silly thing to do, but why not? Right? Cave shadow. Cave shadow. Help if I change, if I can spell correctly. Okay. And then, what I want is, in this parallax thing, I want the... how do I want to do this? Do I want to well, first of all, I could do something like this, where I just have an offset. That's the wrong one, sorry. This is an X offset. So it's just slightly offset. That would be fine. I could do that. I'm going to repeat this like 3 times. And then, I don't want to auto-scroll per pixel. Can I don't know what the sizing is for repeat size. Is that the actual screen size? Because right now, that's 1156 by 640, I think is what the default is. I could actually look. I come up here into project settings. It's called like resolution. Is it here? Maybe it's not here. I don't remember where it is. I've changed it a few times. I honestly don't remember where it is. I thought it was right here, though. I thought it was like right here in the first section. Is it not? It doesn't look like it is. Nope. Oh, window. There it is. 1152. Oh, I was way off. By 648. Man, look at that. I was a total of 4 pixels off. I'm very sad. 1152 by 648. So if I set this, I don't know if that makes any difference, right? Yeah. I may need to change this, though. Also, scroll scale needs to be different. I think we want the scroll scale to be lower, but not super low. Actually, what are they doing over here? Because they tell us what these are here. So the sky is a oh, the sky is really quite low. Yeah. Higher clouds is at 20%, lower clouds is at 30%. So maybe we just steal these numbers outright for the minute and see if we can adjust them later. So in that case, the first layer here would be 0.1. I think we want this to be 0. Oh, can we not? Oh, these are... Don't want those... I do not want those linked. I want them separate values. Okay. So these are, like, a little bit. And then... just reset that. We'll make this 0. We'll make this 0.2, because that's the number we're stealing, right? And then we'll do just basically a couple more of these layers. Copy, view. Those are supposed to be not siblings. Can I make you just a sibling, please? No, you're not gonna let... I don't want this to be... Can I just reparent this? Please, can I just reparent it? Okay. Oh. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? I did something weird, and I don't know if I like it or not. It's probably because this repeat size is wrong, I would bet. This guy is the same. Yeah, he's the same guy. Because Nope. I know what I did, I just don't want to fix it. I know exactly what I did. It's because when I reparented it, the little box that says reparent was selected. I don't actually want that. So we're just going to duplicate it, because then they're not reparenting them. Which is better. Why can I not, like... Where's my scroll bar? Why is my horizontal scroll bar not scrolling? I don't like that. Nope. Grab. There we go. This scroll bar was showing up, but this scroll bar is not for some reason. I don't know if that's a bug or not. But we're gonna keep trucking on here. Okay, what I want to do is change this. This thing needs to be 0.3, I think is what we determined. And then I probably want to change these repeats. What happens if I change the repeats to zeros here? It doesn't seem to make any difference. They're not all over the place here, but okay. What happens if I just play this thing here? Oh yeah, it'd be helpful if I actually saved the file before I tried run it. Let's do that. This is going to be scenes. And then this is going to be static. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and add a really, really basic player controller. What is it called? It's called a control. My brain is not braining. It's a 2D something 2D. It's a 2D. Is it a rigid body 2D? Would that work? It's a character. It's a character. Why did I say Sha when I meant Cha? Character body 2D. Thank you. This needs a collision shape 2D. I'm aware. So we're going to just very quickly, we're going to add a sprite 2D. We're also going to add a character body 2D to the sprite. Rigid body, right? Collision shape. What is the brain? Collision shape 2D. Shape must be provided. I know. You're going to be a rectangle. And then the sprite is going to be just the typical logo. I'm not gonna mess too much with this. Let's go ahead and just for funsies adjust the collision, right? Why can I not modify that shape? Edit. Let's make this 50. Nope. 150. Nope. 120. Closer. 130. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Just like that. No problems there. Okay, so this says it only provides as a collision it only provides as a hold on. Sorry, my had to sneeze. I don't know why I was suddenly sneezing, but I was. Okay, so this says it please only use as a child of a oh, that's right. You don't want to be the no, you're right. You right. I always do that wrong. Every time I do that wrong. Because I'm thinking that you want the collision to be mapped to the display sprite, and that's just not how they do it. Alright, now we're gonna create a new script. This will be C# because that's what I want. Basic movement will be fine. In fact, I don't even think I have to, like, do anything with this. I'm aware that you have a problem. I don't know why it has a problem. Well, I know why it has a problem. I just don't know why it has a problem, if you know what I mean. I know what the problem is, I just don't understand why it happens. Okay, so this is the basic... we'll have to modify this later, but in fact, we'll probably just get rid of it. I think this is okay. I'm just trying to test whether or not it'll work the way it's supposed to. Oh, there's an update for that. That might be part of my problem. Okay. So, let's build this thing. We're going to save this scene as scenes. And we're just going to put it here. We're going to move it up one here, which should be fine. I think that was when I was messing with this, so I think we're okay with that. So in root, let's add the character body scene. Also, I do kind of want to move you here. So you're like together. Okay. And then I want to go ahead and drag the character body scene. No, the wrong one. Crap, did I just put that on there? Because I did not mean to. Okay. I would like to set the transform to something other than 0, 0 to start. So let's just put it at like 200. And actually 200 is not bad. I do want to keep the player kind of over here somewhere. Probably like a third the way into the scene. Not in the middle, not at the end. I'm thinking about a third. So if it's about a third, that'd be about 350-ish. Because it is 1152. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's relatively close. I realize it'd be closer to like 580, but alright. Was lightning fast. Welcome back. But also ads. So that's fine. Let's make this like 600? 600 is too much? 550? Something like that. I just want to see what this looks like, right? So if I hit play here. Actually, let's just hit play here on the current rather than... Yeah. Okay, so first of all... Is there gravity? There's gravity on this guy, isn't there? Yep. Mm-hmm. How do I want to do this? I want to cheat. That's how I want to do it. I want to cheat. I want to add a collision. Is that what I want? Is that how I want to do this? I think that's what I want. Did I just add a collision 3D? I did. That's... Yeah. Nope. Nope. Isn't there a way to... Well, I mean... Okay, you're right. You're right. We won't cheat. We'll just add a collider here. Collision shape. Click OK. Wait, is it not a collision shape? Is that not what we do? Oh no, it wants to be a rigid body. Sorry. Rigid body. We want to add a rigid body. We want to add a rigid body. 2D. We want to add a collision shape to that. Okay. Then this guy needs to have a world boundary shape? No. Okay. I'm trying to decide how to do this properly. Because eventually I'm going to want to insert multiple pieces that have varying terrains and obstacles. And so a world border is not what I want. Because then you won't be able to go down at all. It's alright, we'll do a rectangle shape for now. We need to edit this. Let's make it... Probably not... Oh, wait. We're only talking about 1100, right? So let's just make it 12. This can be like 10. Then we want to move this guy down here. Can I... Oh, because I'm grabbing the wrong thing. Something like that. Is that okay? That's probably okay. Yeah. And then just for my own brainy brains, we are going to throw a sprite in here. That will need to be matched to this same size. Can I copy the transform on this, please? No? No, you could. Ooh. Thought you could. Huh. Okay. You can't take the whole thing, apparently. So I'll just take the position. And the scale position is fine, but what I want to do here is change the scale to like, I don't know. How much scale do I want this thing to be? Just like that. And then like that. Again, this is just so I can see where this thing lives. Which is a little silly because I could probably use like a debug shape and paint it into the right place. But where would the fun in that be? Okay. Okay. Alright. So now that rigid body still has gravity on it. There's a way to pin this, and I don't remember what it is. It's not fixed. Gravity scale multiplies the gravity. Linear collision input transform. Physics interpolation is off. So it shouldn't interact with physics, I don't think. Nope, still falls. So if it's not... No, but it turned itself back on. What? Did I not save it? Nope, it's still doing the physics. Okay. I don't remember how to fix this. There's a way to do it. I don't remember what it is. Angular, linear, and freeze mode is static. What if I just said 0? What if I just said no? What if I just said no physics? No gravity. Oh, okay. So yeah, we do get a thing. And then I fell off the edge. Why did that not scroll? Oh, because I'm ignoring... No, I am. Following viewport camera. Why... Oh, I'm very confused then. Ignore camera scroll. Follow viewport checkmark. Ignore camera. Okay, maybe I'm a little dumb. Possible. Likely. Yeah, and I don't care if this is a begin-end kind of thing. It's fine for now. So, what if I did a screen offset of like 50? See, that's gonna push it and it's not repeating, which I don't quite understand. Maybe I actually do need to give it like a repeat size of like 1152. Does that change anything? Or is there now like a guy way out there is a guy way out there? Okay, what if I did 1? Nope. What if I did 550? Okay, I see what's going on here, kind of. 768. What did I... Too far. Okay. So how is it calculating this? You know what I could do? Aha! Oh, brain is braining. Hold on. Why don't I turn off these guys and then make the change here, because then it should be very clear when I'm overlapping or not. Let's like do 350, right? And 3, right? Okay, so I don't know that I'm overlapping there, but let's do 375. Okay. 380. 400. Okay, 400's too far. 390. 385. Ooh, and look at that. See a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit. 386. Or, I'm sorry, no. I need to go smaller, not bigger. So 384. Ooh. So wait, 385 is... Oh, so 384 is like the number. Why is 384 the number? That's a... Oh, that's a third. Ha 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 ha. I know why. I've set this to repeat 3 times. And then this image, at its current scale, is 11. Yeah, I think that's why. So I think if I do that over here, and then I were to say offset this here, right? The repeat offset. If I did like a 50 pixel offset, well, in this you don't notice. You don't notice. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. So that's fine. So what I want to do is just copy this here. Oh yeah, look at that. And then here. Okay. Oh, look at that. We've got some depth going on. We probably need a viewport camera attached if we're going to do that. I don't know how I want to actually handle that. Because I don't know if that'll actually... But we'll worry about that in a minute. Let's just keep rolling with what we got, and we'll see how far we go. Also, I am gonna go ahead and grab this thing. Not that guy. This guy. Grab this thing. We can't go any further that way. I don't like that. That's interesting, because there's nothing there. Oh, I've made a mistake. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I have a better idea. We are gonna use a world. We are gonna use a world border. World border. And it should just be... I think that's fine, as is, because it should just be a... Anything above that is the border. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what happens. Do I fall off? I don't. But my camera isn't following it. It's fine. The camera technically won't follow it. In the long term, it won't. Let's go ahead and get rid of this sprite. And we're gonna just put this in as a world border. That's how you spell border. Okay. That'll be fine. Where's the position on this? Um, 646 is not actually where I want it. I want it at 648. So it's actually at the bottom of the world. I don't actually care where this is. This could be at 0. Because it's just a forever thing. There's no maximum minimum on it. Fine. Or it should be everywhere, because it's supposed to represent the edge of a world. Be like, woo! Woo! Burning Man! Okay. That's fine. We have a little bit of cave. Let's put a couple more layers of cave in here. Do I want to go the full tilt? Because so far I've put in just like the color, the stalactites 1 and 2. So I put in like this one and this one. There is still like this one and this one that I think should be in the front of the player. Because I really do think that 1 and 2 should be... or I mean, behind the player. I think 1 and 2 should be in front of the player, and 3 and 4 do it well, unless we do 4, and then we could do like... No, I want 3 and 4 behind the player. That's what we're going to do. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this guy. And it's like Control D, I think. Yes, it is. And you get... I forgot which one. It's this one. It's this one. This is the one you get 4. You get 4. Let me rename these, please. I don't like this. So we're gonna rename this. We're gonna rename it equivalent to the image we're using so we can know what we're talking about, right? So this is actually Cave 6. Because it's the 6 PNG. This is Cave 5. This is Cave 4. Right? And then we'll do that again. And we're calling this Cave 3. And then this needs to get the third one's cave. Right? Very cavey. It's looking pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Now, we did not adjust these layers. So this layer has a 0.3. This should probably be like a 0.5. And then this should be like a 0.7. Roughly. I think. Yeah. Yeah, just don't know how I feel about that coffee. It's also cold now, so so the question is, because this is the character, right? Yes. Yeah. I'm not so sure about that. I legitimately think that everybody can program. I mean, I'm not even joking. I think that everyone can program. It's more about understanding the whats and the whys, and I think basically everyone could do that. Okay, and then this guy, I need to put here, I think. Did you not select that? You did not select that. And then this thing needs to be... I think this needs to be... Oh. Because now we actually have items in front of the camera, so they actually should move faster than the camera's moving. So let's make this like 1.1. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll do like one more of those. And this will be cave 1. And this will be cave 1. And I need to grab this guy. Not modify it, thank you. It'd be really cool if you'd stop doing that. I don't know why, but my mouse is being really weird today, and it's trying to do like multi-selects. And then we'll make you like 0.2. Okay, so the idea, I'm gonna shrink this out so we can actually see the screen a little better. This is layers in time, right? These are slices going deeper. It actually was pretty decently represented in here in this image that we showed earlier. This one, where he has this sliced out in like steps, how they're all boom 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 kind of thing. This is further back. This is slightly closer, slightly closer, slightly closer, blah blah blah. Right. So we are allowing the player to basically walk in this little empty space right here in the middle. Like right here is where the player is hanging out. So this chunk of rock and these chunks of rocks are in front of the player, and everything else is behind it. That's how we've configured this. So in theory, if we hit play on this guy, we should... Yeah. Okay. I don't hate that. We're going to have to adjust player scale a little bit, because I just threw out a random player scale. We may need to adjust some of the other stuff too. And then we go, oh, peekaboo, peekaboo. Oh, peekaboo. Now, in the real game, you won't be able to move back and forth like. You'll be at a set position, where you can go up and down. We could adjust the thing. I don't know for the front layers. I assume you're meaning. We could do that. But again, this is all we're just trying to get the stuff in. I follow the same principle when I'm doing writing as I do when I'm doing game dev. I don't know who said it originally, but somebody originally said that your first draft of your writing is filling a sandbox with sand, and you have to get all the grains of sand in, and the second draft is actually making the sandcastle. I follow typically the same way with game dev. So the first kind of pass is just getting all the crap in there. The second time is actually shaping it, making it look better and work better the way you expect. So we may have to adjust some of these things like the transparency or the scaling. We may have to like scale some of these parts in front down a little bit so they're not so they don't cover the player as much. But one thing at a time. Now, can I just grab all of these guys? Can I ignore? There was a... Yeah. You know what? What if I did this? Auto scroll won't work because we'd have to adjust the scroll independent. What if this, can we go back to yeah, it's still here. Cool. Scroll scale. If manual is desired, the camera position can be ignored. So, are you telling me that you want to set an auto scroll value? For example, a value of scrolls 1, a value of 1 scrolls at the same speed as the camera, the greater... Yeah, we already knew that. Okay. Multiplier to the final offset is this scroll scale. So I guess my question is, if I come back over here and I select all of these units and I set the auto scroll to something like 25, or yeah, 25, are they all going to scroll at 25? Or because the scroll scale is set differently, will they scroll at 25 times the scale? So if this is set to 25, should this be going at 20% more than 25? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay, well, first of all, that's scrolling the wrong way. And second of all, yeah, they are all going at the same speed. Okay. Yeah, this needs to be a negative speed, not a positive speed. I don't know why. But we'll do negative 25 on this guy. Right? And then we'll do negative 50 at this guy. Then we'll do negative 75 on this guy. And then we'll do negative, brain stopped working, negative 125. And then we'll do negative 175. And then we'll do negative 275. And then we'll do negative 300 here. Right? Think? I have no idea. Let's see. Oh, look at the okay, I don't like that it's popping like that. But it is parallaxing, sort of. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, I can't see me. I don't know why it's popping like that. I wonder if that has to do with unloading and loading the additional copies of the parallax, but that is parallaxing. Like, I'm getting some parallax here. That's kind of cool. Probably have to do like a level manager. I think the way I would handle this is do a level manager and first of all, let me grab all of these guys. And I want to turn off ignore camera scroll. Just all of them. So now if I run this guy, it's still doing that weird popping. And you'll notice it's doing like, this thing will get to the edge and it'll snap back. In fact, they're all doing that. They're all going a third of the way. It looks like they're going a third of the way over before they pop. Okay. But, I mean, that's fine. Also, as we're about to start. Okay, well, I mean, we're just getting somewhere. Slowly. Slowly but surely. Okay, let's take the suggestion and take these guys that are in front of the camera, and we will change the modulate value so that it is slightly transparent. Let's do like a... How transparent should we go? Instead 255 if we just did 200. That's maybe too transparent. So 225. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. So let's do the same thing here, where we just add a 225 modulation on this. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's still... We'll have to probably adjust these. Again, these are just assets I got off the asset store. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is not quite enough. Not quite good enough to my standard. Actually, why don't we do... Yeah, something like that. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Is that gonna give us more readability? Not really. Not really. We could go full, Hollow Knight on this and make reactive layers so that as the player steps on them, they, squish. I don't think I want to go that far. I don't think it's necessary to go that far for this particular thing. So maybe... We may end up just modifying this here a little bit so they're not quite as present in the scene. But whatever. But not right now. We're not going to worry about that right now. One thing at a time. Okay, so the net thing I want to... The Neth thing, I have words. They are words. They definitely come out of my mouth properly. Let's start working on... I guess we should work on the game manager. Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to work on a knob? No, because if I work on... I was gonna say we could start working on the obstacles, but if we start working on obstacles, we have to have a way to insert those obstacles into the world, and that would require the game manager. So let's work on the player first, right? Because this is not the player. This is just the default script, and I don't want it that way. I don't want the player to be able to do this. He should not be able to move forward or back. He should only be able to jump or go down. Jump, down. Jump, down. That's it. Although in this case, it's just a physics-driven jump. So I can't even go, down. So... we need to address that. I think the simple solution here is just... let's just start by modifying the character body script. I actually don't like that it's called the character body script. Shut up. I know that there's an error with the extensions. I have removed that extension on purpose, and it still pops. It drives me mad. You know what? Is there something I care about here? I don't know if there's something I really care that much about. I will need, an animation player at some point, probably. I will need... Okay, so... Brain is braining. Very slowly, but it is braining. Maybe... Okay, so we need... We have... I'm just trying to think this out. We have a player. So in our current set, we have a player. We have an icon. That'll change. We'll probably put an animated sprite in there or something. I'm not sure exactly how I want to deal with that yet. And then I really do think we want to... Yeah, I mean, the problem I have with our setup currently is this is just what you get. You get this always. You just only get. Can I actually? You can only do this. That's all you get. And I'm wondering. Wondering if there's a better way to handle this. Actually, the better way to handle it is actually probably to remove the first two parallax layers that are in front of the camera and have the background stay as they are, and then have the levels that I load in have the obstacles and stuff in them. The other option is we could just move this down so it's in front, and then adjust the parallax because they are not in front of the camera anymore. They shouldn't be moving faster. Because now, if we play them here, right, they're in front of the camera, but they're still moving faster than the camera, than the rest of everything else. So, they're also still modulated. So there's still some transparency there. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Yes. Yes, but I am going to adjust these. So, rather than these be at like 1.2 and 1.1... they still need to be slower than the camera is. So I'm actually going to make this like 0.8 and 0.9. That does mean I also have to adjust this this speed, right? So this actually needs to be negative 200. And this actually needs to be negative 225. Now, granted, this auto scroll thing, that's just for testing purposes right now. But let's see what this does. I mean, it's still popping, but that does look better. That does look better. I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that. Now, there will have to be a layer in the front that the player actually stands on. That's what will actually run. That's actually what will have like the obstacles and stuff spawn on it. But I don't hate that. Now I do not understand. Is the can I? Why does the loop thing not work? Okay, hold on. While the camera scrolls between the image... Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. Hold on. You cannot see what I'm looking at? Let's just do this. Okay, so what I was looking at is right here. This thing, right? Red's bonus effect that gives the textures the illusion of repeating indefinitely. Repeat size tells the node to snap its position back, forward or back. Oh, that's why. That's why it's doing it. Okay. So what if I just get rid of the repeat size? Or what if I make the repeat size the size of the image? Is that going to cause me a problem? I have no idea. It's 11:52 though. What happens when I hit that play button now? It is wrong. It is wrong. Although you can very clearly see like where the parallax layering is, which is kind of cool, but it's very wrong. Yep. Well, shoot. I was hoping that would just do me a solid there. What happens if I just reset that to 0? Is that going to give me an issue? It's not doing anything. Okay. It will never parallax. Is this an issue of it ignore... Oh, hold on. Maybe the issue is that it's trying to follow the viewport? Question mark? Maybe? No. Nope. Okay. So this repeat has to be something. It just can't... When it was the full size of the image... I don't understand why this doesn't work. Because it was 384, right? So what if we... What if we just reset this and reset this? Is that going to give me a problem? That's still not going to work, right? Yeah, it's not auto-scrolling. Okay, what if we made it, like, bigger? So rather than have it be... Yeah, what if we did this? What if we made this 4 instead of 3? Excuse me. What if we, instead of 4 instead of 3, but then we did actually make this back into this, right? Does that change anything? It's still doing it. That doesn't seem to have changed much, if anything. Okay. Well, damn. -1. Nope, it can't be negative. It can only be 1 at minimum. All right. Well, what if I just did 1 and I gave it a resize scale? Does that give me the same problem? Sure does. So the sizing actually isn't the problem. The repeat count isn't the problem. If I did like 8, right? That's massive. But I'm still gonna get the same exact behavior, I think. Pop. Yep, it's this, and it's doing it at exactly the same spot. It looks like. Just as soon as I don't know if you can see this, but just as soon as that shadow right here goes off screen, it resets. So if I do this at 3, and I hit play, that shadow, yep, it's still popping right back in the same spot. So it is this size that's the problem, not the number. So I wonder... I actually wonder if that's at least partially because these things are smaller. Because didn't we scale these up? Didn't we have to scale these up? I thought we did. Yes, these are 3 times bigger. I wonder, is that maybe the issue? Maybe? Well, I have a jacket on and it's a little bit warm. It's summer in my part of the world and it's starting to get warm enough in the daytime that it's temperature's coming up a little bit. Okay. Okay, let me reread this documentation again. Because it feels like this is something that shouldn't be happening. Okay, so scroll speed, infinite repeat. Parallax is yeah, and that's the intent, is it's supposed to the camera, repeat size. Is there more information on the repeat size? Overrides the amount of texture repeats. Each copy spreads evenly from the original by repeat size. Useful when zooming in and out on a camera. Okay, so it takes the origin point and it adds it. So then why doesn't using because they're 3 times big. We're having a. I believe the problem is that we have scaled the image up by 3-fold, and that causes an issue with the scaling of the image, and the scaling of the repeating is not happening in the same contiguous order, I'm guessing. Okay, if I come back over here. Poor sizing. The infinite repeat is easiest to work with when you have an image designed to repeat seamlessly and is the same size or larger than your viewport. Before setting repeat size, if you aren't able to obtain assets that are designed for this task, there's some things you can do to prepare. Here's an example of an image that's too small, which is what we have. We have an image that's too small. You can see that the viewport size is 500 by 300, but the texture is only 280 by 208, 288 by 208. We set the repeat size to the size of our image. The infinite repeat effect doesn't scroll properly because the original texture does not cover the viewport. If we set the repeat size to the size of the viewport, we have a large gap. Yes. Which is kind of what we're getting when we set it to the actual size. Make the viewport smaller. So we could just adjust the viewport size. Which I don't know is a win or a loss. I don't know that it matters that much. Scale. If you're not aiming for pixel perfect, use the scale. That's what I'm doing. I'm using scale. Welcome in, Sakurona. How have you been? I am using the... Am I not? Am I not? I am. I am using the scale. So what the bloody ball sack? Where did that go? It said, where did it say that? Am I insane here? Did I miss that? What? Where did it go? Is the scroll... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Poor positioning. Not where we were. Poor sizing. Um, similar to scaling, you can scale your sprite 2D. Keep in mind that settings like... Okay, so I did the parallax 2D, and that's not working correctly. So maybe we set the scale back to the same amount, and we it's good. Doing dev stuff is sometimes fun. Sometimes it's like slamming your head against a wall. So, that's good. Let's do this. This is what we'll do. We are going to grab all of these nodes, and we are going to reset the scale to 0. Now they're too small, right? Too small. But what I want to do is just hit play as they are and see if they still do the snapping. Let's start with that. They are not doing the snapping. They are loading in the new ones as they go, which is fine. But they're not doing the snapping. Okay. So we need to... What if we scale the images instead? Rather than the parents, let's scale the images. They're not a... There's the transform. Like, I know there's a transform thing. Don't give me crap. Okay. So now they're all scaled up inside. Right? That looks like crap, though. I think this is not going to give me what I want. But we'll one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Also, I do want to change the repeat to, like, 8. Let's see. I think this is just going to be just a cluttered mess. Way too cluttered of a mess. Yes, we are definitely getting more repeats. So there are overlaps that aren't supposed to be happening. That's fine. Because now I should be able to set this to 1152. And I think we'll be okay. I think we might actually have a working parallax at this point. No more snapping. Look at that. No more snapping. No more too small. No more repeats. I think we're okay. I don't know that it matters that we have 8 repeats. I think we could be fine with like 2 or 3. We just need enough repeats so that when the furthest one back and the furthest one forward are offset, they don't misload. I think. Because if you remember earlier when this was playing, there was that we were seeing that instance where they were kind of spreading out like cards in a hand, where you could see the layers separating. That was because they didn't have enough repeats on scene to load a new one before the camera was panning past it. I think. So we could actually probably do something like 4 and be more than fine. In fact, we probably could go back to 3 at this point, and it would probably be fine. And it's not snapping. Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful parallax that really means nothing because it's not doing anything. Okay. At some point, we will key into the parallax speed based on offset, and they will all get their own multiplier based on like player speed, which we will work on at some further point, but not right now. Parallax works for now. So, let's go back to what we were talking about earlier, which is setting up the player. That's what we were doing. We're going to set up the player. Because right now, all this is the default player with the default player script attached. And I don't want the player script attached. We need to be able to jump and fall. We also need to have a third input. How do we want to do that? I guess what we ought to do is come up into project settings and add an input map. Right? So these are all the inputs that already exist. These are all the built-in ones. There are a ton of them. I try to avoid using the built-in mappings because they can get kind of screwy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just create a new one, and this one is gonna be called jump, and we need to add a keyboard key to that, and it's gonna be space. Just the normal QWERTY keyboard is fine. We want to add up. Add an up arrow. But no. Oh, here. Up. I forgot you can do that. Pro tip, in case you're curious, you can grab this thing. I'll do this again with space. So you hit the button. You can click right here. This is listening for the input. So if I hit the space button, the space bar, it automatically just fills that. You can then come down in here and search for things specifically. So like on the joypad, we could add the joypad axes right stick probably is what I would do. Probably the right stick. So like this guy probably is right stick up. No, that's left stick, sorry. Right stick up. So I'd probably use this guy as a physical up button as well. Oh, I got rid of space accidentally. And then we would probably even do like the joypad buttons and have like the D-pad up. Or we want the D-pad up. We probably want the X button. We do X? Yeah, I think we want to do X. And then we'll also do the D. D-pad up. Okay, so that means this the jump function, if you push the up key on your keyboard, you hit the space on the keyboard. If you hit the joystick up, if you hit the D-pad or the top button, which is the Y on Xbox controllers, or the X or the triangle, you'll go up. You'll be jumped. Alright, I mean, that seems fine to me. That's probably more than we need. In fact, I'm actually going to take the joystick out. We're going to do buttons only for now, at least. And then we want to do another one. And this is going to be... What is this going to be? This is going to be... Use item. And this is going to be... Enter. One enter. Two enter. And then we'll do... whatever the right button is. The right button on the yeah, like A seems like a good choice. A, or do we want? Maybe we want the left button. I'm just trying to. I don't have a controller in front of me. I normally do. Oh, I have my Switch. I'm lying. I have my Switch right here. So, I almost want it to be like the Y button on the Switch, which is the left button, because that feels more natural to me than the A button. Because you're hitting the X and the B button to jump and crouch, in this particular case. So yeah, I'm gonna do Y. I'm gonna do the Y button. I'm gonna do the Y button. But I am going to do the D-pad right button. I understand that that's backward. I think those are more natural. Where is the Y button? Why are you not showing me the Y button? I said... Oh, I said Y, not Y. Duh. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, the left action button. Yes, I think that's correct. Okay, so in this case, you can hit Enter on your keyboard. If you're doing mouse and keyboard. Really, this is just keyboard. I'm not planning on doing mouse. If you're using a controller, you can hit the right D-pad button, which should be on your left hand. Right? That's where the D-pads are, is left hand. And then on the right hand, if you're on a controller, it would be the Y button. I think that makes as much sense as anything else. So jump is up on the D-pad. Use is right on the D-pad. It's up. Jump is X on the keyboards, or Y, or X on Nintendo, Y on Xbox, triangle on Sony, and the top button. And then it's yes. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay. And then we want to do one more action, which is what? Crouch, we could call it, I guess. And that is going to be the down button. That is also going to be the shift button. That is also going to be the B button on your Nintendo, because that's what I have right here. That is also going to be the D-pad down. Okay, so if you're crouching, you can hit the physical down button, you can hit the shift button, you can hit the D-pad down or the bottom action button on your controller. I think that makes sense. So down, up, use. Yes. Yep. That's all the D-pads we need. However, I do want to edit this because those are all capitals. This one isn't. We have jump, use, crouch. That's what we want to do. Okay, so now, next step is actually going to be create a new folder called. Actually, hold on. Can I get to the asset lib from here? It's called controller icons. This guy by Gemballs. This is the one I'm looking for right here. Gemballs is a creator that I have sort of followed back and forth periodically. He was on the team that created RV There Yet, the friend swap game that I think most people know. What I should preface this, by the way, by saying this guy here, this C# one is just a port of this one. Same basic functionality. It should all work basically the same. The difference is this is in C#. I'm largely programming in C#, and if I need to go in and tweak stuff, I can do that. So we are going to pull that down. This would be fine. Yep. Nope. Put it in the add-ons. That one's fine. Okay, now I think we have to turn the plugin on. So if we come in over here, we go plugins, on, unable to... Oh. I have to build. This is a C# project. I just inserted C# assets. I have to build before they can resolve the stuff. Yep. Okay, now it has no problem. Weirdly. Okay. So... yeah, okay. So we have to... Let's go back to modifying this guy. I'm well aware. I need to just purge the... I think I might just have to hard uninstall Visual Studio Code and clear out my app data folder. And then reinstall it to make that error go away. Unfortunately, there's not really a good solution otherwise. And by the way, that happened. Funny story. That happened. That error occurs because Visual Studio Code updated, and when they updated, they force reactivated the Copilot stuff, the AI Copilot stuff, because they made some breaking changes, so they turned it on for everyone just so they didn't break changes for everyone. And because they did that, now I have another add-on that helps do that does autocomplete, code complete. So like if I start typing in here and I had said like like this for instance. So instead of this, first of all, this should be jump, right? Because we're doing that. And then if I said else if, see how it auto completes that, where you can say if else if input blah 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 blah. If I did this and I said, hey, if you're hitting crouch, anyway, you're good, dude. But because I have another code complete that uses some of the same APIs, it caused a breaking change and it blew up. And even though they have the other add-on makers have updated since then, there's still some stray little bits laying around. So this is entirely Microsoft's fault because they were pushing AI shit to VS Code too hard. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And it annoys the shit out of me. But, like, I know how to fix it, I think. Just, I don't wanna. Okay. So, this thing here could just do this. Now, by the way. Because so let me break down what I've done here, because this may be a little opaque. This is the default thing, and all it does is says, hey, was the jump button just pressed? Because it's looking for jump, just pressed. And if you're on the floor, right? So the player character's touching the floor. Make you go up. However fast you're supposed to be going, make that your Y velocity. And then I said else, so if that's not the case, but the crouch button was just pressed, and you're not on the floor, then set the Y velocity to negative. So it makes you go down. Now I probably don't want it to be negative. We may want to do like half the jump velocity. I don't know. You know what? We are going to do that. Hold on. We're going to multiply this by negative half. So, yeah. So this will take whatever the jump velocity is, it'll go half as fast downwards instead. So if I save that off, and we come back over, where did my editor's not showing up? And because Windows is stupid, when you click... So fun fact, this is an ongoing bug and it's been in Windows 11 for a while. If you have multiple monitors and you click the taskbar overflow 3 breadcrumbs on a different monitor than your main monitor, about half the time, Windows Explorer just crashes. It just dies. It just crashes out. It comes back pretty quickly, but it just crashes out. and it's just the best thing ever. I love just how enshittified Microsoft Windows is. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Promise it is. Okay, now if I build this thing, and I hit the button, and we're gonna hit play. If I hit... Oh. I can't hit that button. I need to hit this button because there's no floor in the other one. Yeah. So... Oh yeah, see it? Oh! See? So that's the normal fall. We're going up. We jump. There's a little arc, right? That's us hitting the down button. Okay, I don't like that. First of all, I think that the jump needs more jump. It needs more oomph to it. It needs to be more forceful. But also, I think we're going to up that from half to like 3/4 the velocity. So, let's quickly do that. So instead of like -400, let's make it 650. And then we're going to make this 75%. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Nah, they need to be able to dodge the obstacles. They're coming over their heads. Oh, he got more hops. He also got more drops. More hops, more drops. So you can do this, and you can let it rise up, and you can go down, or you can just do a little mini hop. Look at the control! Ooh! Okay, 650's probably a little high. But I do like that amount, that force that's coming back down. So, the only question I have is, do I want to modify the jump, or do I want to give it a jump and a fall speed? That's the wrong one. Let's do this. First of all, let's do this. Let's make this an export variable. In Godot, if you make it a public and an export variable, it means it shows up in the editor, so you can modify it from the editor. We are also going to give it another export public variable, which is going to be crouch velocity. Because I think I'm going to separate them. This is going to be a positive. What's 75? What's 75? See, that'd be 150. My brain will not process it. A quarter of 600 is 150. A quarter of 50 is 12.5. So it would be 162.5, and then you need to multiply that by 3, which would mean it'd be 180, 750 plus 300, so 480, 750, right? So we're just gonna call it 500. For funsies, we're gonna call it 500. And we're gonna make this like 600, roughly. And then we're gonna take this guy, and we're gonna put it here. It's not really necessary, but these are values we're not changing. These don't modify at all. So let's see what happens when we do that. Ooh, fun. Ooh, it blew up. It blew up. It done blowed up. Why did it done blowed up? Because you can't have a constant. That's why. A constant means it can't be changed. It's set and stuck that way. You can't have a constant and an export value. You just can't. It's not allowed. Not allowed. This'll fix that. Uh, that's not too bad. Not quite as hoppy as it used to be. It's still got plenty of jump, but not like tons. And you still have that real drop. A real beefy drop. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now, the other option is we could take the check for just out of pure, just for funsies. We're going to take this check out. Trust the process. Trust the process. It does, and it's because the way that this is being calculated is that this is a velocity change. It's not an impulse. So this is used. The velocity is calculated based on physics frames. So it actually does have kind of a ramp up. Now we might change that in the future. Might not. I don't know. We're working out. But now I should be able to. Because there's no check to see if it's on the floor, so you can actually do multiple jumps. But there's still gravity, so you still fall down if you stop pushing the button, or you can hit the button and hit the crouch button and really fall down. You know. So that was just to see if it would break in midair, which is fine. So we are gonna put that back in because I don't want you jumping when not on the floor. As a general rule, that's not cool. And yeah, this is a built-in Godot function that is on floor. It literally just looks to see if it's a character body and if the character body is colliding with your floor object. It's not anything like black magic. But now you can't do multi-jumps again. Okay, next step is I want to build some data structure. And the data structures I'm looking at, well, I don't know. See, in fair, if we do a double jump, and I don't know that I'm gonna let you have a double. I'll be 100% honest. My intent is to have basically 3 power-ups at this point. That's what my brain is telling me. One is a heal, one is a freeze, and one is destroy. So basically, the heal gives you back health points. If you hit something, you lose a health point. Gives you back a health point. There's going to be a max of some flavor, probably 3. That typically that's a pretty normal number. So, and if you're already at 3, you still have 3. You just wasted your heal. The destroy should destroy every obstacle on the map on your current screen. Just wipes them out. The freeze slows everything down. So it just slows everything maybe by 50%, maybe by more than that, 75, maybe less than that, maybe 30. I don't know. We'll have to play with those numbers. So as you go, like if you get a freeze, you can use that to like kind of reset your mental state, get your flow back. You can use the destroy as like, oh crap, I'm gonna get destroyed, so I can like nuke everybody on the screen and then survive a little longer, that kind of thing. I have no intent of doing more than those 3 at this moment. Maybe there's room for a double jump. Maybe there's room for some other kinds of pickups. I don't know. But I think I don't know that there's going to be like a long-term double jump regardless. I don't think you're going to just unlock the ability to just have infinite double jumps. If we wanted to do a double jump, what I would typically do is I would have like a jump count here. So there'd be like Jump count equals 0. And then down in here in the physics process, I would say if is on floor, jump count equals 0. And well, maybe I wouldn't even do that. I would probably actually say like max jump count. Like max jump count. And then I'd say like maybe 2, right? And then if is on floor, max jump, maybe we do this. Do we want to do that? Yeah, we want to do that. So then this would be probably a const. Probably would be a const, yeah. And then if you're on the floor, it reset. And then if this button is on floor, and then you'd say and jump count is greater than 0, do that and subtract jump count like that. That would mean that you'd have currently 2 jumps. The first time through it'd say, hey, if you're on the floor, you get all your jumps back. Then it would say, hey, if you're hitting jump and you can jump, then actually this would probably be this. We would actually get rid of is on floor in this case, because you don't care if you're on the floor, you just have to make sure you have the jump available, like that. You'd say, hey, if you just press jump and you have some jump left, then subtract from the number of jumps you can do and hit the button. And then in theory, the next time you touch the floor, your jump count comes back. So in theory, we now have a double jump system in place just by making those couple of changes. So we come over here and we hit play. We should have 2 jump, but not a third. 1, 2, not a third. So if I do this and I go... So we can do this. Yep, just like that. It's not super tricky in this particular case. But also, you know what, I'm going to leave that in there, but for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this an export value. And I'm going to make this a public. And we're going to set this to 1 for now. And we'll leave it at 2. Why not? We'll leave it at 2. Why not? Also, because this is the public value, I always capitalize in camel case. Camel case. Or is this Pascal case? I never remember. It's camel case. This is Pascal case. Camel case is this. This is camel case. This is Pascal case. Yes, it's confusing. But for public variables, I always capitalize the first letter. And then I generally use camel case when I'm naming variables anyway. Just to keep them separate. So now, let's just make sure that still builds. Because I did rename some variables. Yep, that looks like that works fine. And if we come over here and we click this guy, you can see, because it's an export value, it shows up right here in max jump count. So we could, in theory, make this a 0. And then if we ran it, you would have 0 jumps. I'm hitting the up key, I'm hitting the space key. It's not allowed to jump. You're just not allowed to jump. And we can set it to 2 again and hit the button, and it should work just fine. Yep. So, you know what? You might have just won me over there, Sakurano. I kind of like the double jump. It'll give you some good utility while you're dodging enemies. You can jump up and then do like a little hop and dodge over and around. I might keep the double. That might be fun. Anyway, so the next thing I want to do was build up some of the basis for the pickups and stuff. In order to do that, I think I need to add. I want to add another add-on. There's one called a text database, I think is what it's called. Text database. I think this is the one. Is this the right one? I don't know. Maybe? I don't actually know if this is the right one. Let me pop over to ye olde. Yes. That is the right one, I think. By Kobewi. I found it over here on the asset store. This is the asset store. This is the asset library. There is a difference. The asset store is new. It's brand new. It's coming out in 4.7. I'm currently on 4.6.3, so the asset store doesn't exist. But many of the assets that exist in the library are being ported over to the store. The reasoning is that you can then, in theory, sell some of those assets. That's where this is going. So you can like make a cool thing and put it up for sale. Right now it's free only. Anyway, so yes, this is the right one. I'm gonna get rid of probably going to get rid of that, but so is that the right one? That's the wrong one. We don't need that one anymore. I don't know where the right one went, so we're gonna pretend. Hold on, let me clean up a few of these windows. Let me clean up for a few windows. Okay. This is the asset store. It is by the same person, Kobewi. But the thing that I want to do is, so like this is a typical JSON file, right? And it has like an array, so the square brackets mean an array, and then it will contain a list of items. This one has like a name, a description, a price, a type, and then a comma saying that that's the end of the item, right? So this is the opening of the item, the closing the item. This means next item in the list. But using config files, you can say these are the same thing, right? So bag of spikes, a bag full of rusty spikes, 80 miscellaneous. Here you just say, this is a bag of spikes. Here's the attributes for it. I like this thing better. So we're gonna use this config thing instead. Also, it does inherit from ref counted, which makes things easier. Ref counted is how they handle internal resource management. It gets a lot too complex for the scope of my small brain most of the time. So, but yeah, that way we'll have a bunch of these. The idea is that you don't end up with situations like this, right? That's 2 lines for an attack and a sword. Also, ads are about to start in about 15 seconds or so. That's 2 lines per item, with 1 in between. For the same thing here, you're talking about opening, name, guy, close. So you're talking about 4 lines. So it's just about a little bit more terse, a little bit more clean. You can define. Wait, what? You can define data validation. You can define two types of properties in a mandatory and valid. Mandatory properties must be in an entry. E.g., if you have a collection of items, you might want all of them to have a description. Valid properties are properties that can be in an entry. E.g., your items might have set of stats like attack, defense, If you have a typo, attack, that property won't be recognized as value. As valid. Brains are good. Sometimes you should try having them. I mean, I've never had one, but, you know, other people I've been told have them. Okay. How do you do that? Oh, okay. So in here, you can configure the database values. This is in C#. That's interesting. Although is actually super friendly is such usage. Yeah. The first approach, while it's simple, is actually evil. Crypts aren't meant to hold data. That's true. That's funny. Anyway, so this is defining a variable of a database. It's saying, hey, give me a new text data. Words are hard. Okay. New database. It tells you the item, the entry name. You can also make them mandatory, which would be fine. I assume that means you can export them to ? This is in GDScript now. Yep. Oh no, this is GDScript. It's not terminated with a thing. With a semicolon. This might get interesting. If it's ref counted, it shouldn't matter because I should be able to use the things across languages. I'm not entirely sure if I can or not. We'll see. Worst case scenario, I'll port it over if I have to have it. No change logs. No reviews. Anyway, we're closing that out. So let me come over here to project. Let me turn the text database on. No? Not an editor type plugin. What? Do I have to reference the... Okay, here's the config. I don't think that's worst case scenario. But maybe. Text database advanced for data rich 1.3. Yeah, okay, so this is GDScript directly, which I will admit I'm not the most familiar with. It is a Python-like language, which I despise based on the fact that duck Google nifty. I think that's one of the Halloween ones that are only limited time. ID, name, bool, is validated, is strict, pre-process entry, call. Oh, so these are callable. Oh. I see. Alright, that makes sense. That makes sense. Makes sense indeed. Signed from struct. I mean, I could wrap just a JSON importer to get the config stuff pulled down if I wanted to. I don't know if I want to. Oh, also, I don't know when my face froze, but it froze a while ago because my tracker died because it wasn't plugged in. And I totally didn't even realize that. So what I'm going to do is, for the moment, because I have to actually plug it in and let it charge. Give me 1 second. Let's... Well, I can't... Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Let me... This is what we'll do. I have idea. Can I... Yeah. Okay, I think that would be a little better if I do that. All right, we'll just swap this out for now, so that. Yeah, well, I'm also going to close a few of these applications that I'm not using. Let me actually come back over here for a second while I do that, because I don't really want to leak some stuff. I know, it's weird that I don't want to leak a bunch of stuff off my computer. Super weird. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay. Where? That's not the right one. Where? What? There it is. Okay. Alright. Yeah, well, again, my tracker died, which I knew was going to happen, by the way, because I haven't charged it since I took it to Toronto last week. It's been over a week, and while it wasn't super crazy used, it does eat up a little bit more battery when I when I'm actually using it. So, anyway. Well, so also fun fact, I took several of my desk charging cables with me when I went to Toronto. So they're still in my bag, and I haven't put them back on my desk and, like, done the cable management stuff. Anyway, not the point. Not the point. We are back into this. Alright. I am not actually sure. I like the idea of making a config file, but I might just not use this plugin. I don't know. I'm one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So, what I need to do now is create a pickup object. So let's create a new scene. This will be a 2D scene. It will have... let me actually go over here to where we can see what we're doing. It will have an object of some kind. It will have a sprite of some kind, I assume. So let's do like a sprite. We might even do an animated sprite. Do we want to do an animated sprite? We do, but we're not going to worry about an animated sprite right yet. This will complain because it doesn't have sprite frames. I know it. It's okay. Yeah, maybe we don't. No, okay. We're not going to do that right now. We'll just use a normal sprite. This is also going to be called pickup. So for now, we'll use a normal sprite. When we get a little further down the road, we'll swap that for animated. It's fine. But this will be the sprite. We need some kind of sprite. Hey, what happened to that? Was there perhaps pickups that I could use? Just temporary light in that other pack I was looking at before? I don't know. I actually don't know. Let me pull it up and we'll see. Okay, this is the pack. Weapons, various fruits, emotes, more emotes, fishing accoutrement, other weapons, and feathers, and more feathers with a fork. Okay. We can do something like this, a little grab bag. Would that be the end of the world? We did that? I don't know. I'm just looking for a kind of a generic-y pickup-y thing. For now. Oh my. Oh my. There are a few... Those are clearly very Minecraft pixel art. Like, that's clearly the Minecraft block, and that's like clearly ore, and that's clearly lava, and pumpkins, and melons. I mean, very clearly... Not gonna pretend that he did not rip a lot of those off. The cauldron, the enchanting table, the Fletcher's table for whatever reason. The anvil, the beacon. Anyway, that's not quite what I was looking for. Thematically, yeah, a lot of those are also. Oh, they even have some. These are from a mod, and I don't remember what mod. These are from an old electromechanical mod that I don't even know if is around anymore. But that's not what I'm looking for anyway. And some more. Yeah. Yep, and some more, like fence posts and stuff. Yeah, these are all... okay. Okay. Yeah, I am thinking about using, like this bag, this little candy bag looking thing for now. Or maybe this little candy bag, or maybe this little candy bag. I could go, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Yeah, I don't know why they're free. But again, this is not a serious thing. I'm not doing anything with this. If I were really being, if I was really being conscientious, I would just do my own art or use stuff that I know is not going to get me in trouble. I'm not so convinced that some of this stuff will not get me in trouble. So, yes, and they are very, you are 100% right, they're very reference inspired, if we're being nice. Although it does have, wait, hold on. He says that there's this little thing here has a little mimicky chest, or just a chest opening. I'm curious. Yeah, this is the only thing he's got on here. But I don't see a chest. I mean, maybe I'm missing it, but I don't see a chest. Not that style chest, anyway. There's probably a Minecraft chest in here. If I'm being honest, there's probably a Minecraft chest in here that I'm just not seeing. I mean, there's a barrel. Oh, there it is. There's the chest. Fine. We're gonna steal the little. We're gonna use this little piece of candy, probably. I don't know. We might actually just use. Might just randomize one of those. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That's beyond the scope of what I'm trying to accomplish here. However, I don't know where this is, so I'm gonna hide my... I'm not gonna hide my desktop. Well, I was gonna hide my desktop, but my desktop decided not to be hidden. Why no hide? Why no hide? I don't know. It doesn't... It's not... What? What? I was gonna just hide my desktop, but it won't let me now. So sad. We'll just do it manually. Oh, that's why. Because I'm dumb. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yep, that time it worked. I got there eventually. I'm only a little dumb sometimes. By which I mean, dumb frequently. Yeah. By the way, those packs that are clearly Microsoft, Mojang packs are called Blocky Life. Oh, there's that. I have no idea where these are. So we'll just grab all of these and we'll remove them in a minute. We can bring you back in, by the way. Well, oh, we actually can't. Hold on. New folder. Sprites. We need to... Hold on. You're gonna go away a minute. Because I need to actually go back to my Explorer. Yeah. Yeah. I need to go back to the Explorer. And... dump them in here. And then we can bring you back in. Beautiful. Yep, okay. Wow, that's a lot of icons, and I cannot... Let me actually make this floating. In this particular instance, I think floating will do better for our needs right this minute. Can I not? Oh yeah, I actually really hate the fact that I can't expand this out at all. Kinda drives me up a wall. Okay, these are full freebie items PNG. It's only 600 though. Oh. I need to unsnap that. Armory items. Not what I want. Botany items. Not what I want. Emoticons. Not what I want. Fishing. Not what I want. General. Not what I want. I don't know how general contains all the feathers. But okay. Halloween. Those are the ones I want. I want the Halloween ones because I just really want this one. These ones right here. That's it. That's all I want. So let's get rid of all the rest of these that are not Halloween. Actually, let's see if there's any in here I give a crap about that. We may want maybe this one. Maybe. Or maybe that one. I don't know. Well, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I don't see the need for... Okay, so let's get rid of this guy. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, for sure. I'm not sure if I need those. I don't think I need that. That's the one we want. Yeah, I don't really care about the general one. And I don't really care about the emoticon one. So... I'll have to look more carefully at this one, see if there's anything in here that I care about, but I believe this is just all of them combined. Anyway. So what I want to do is use this guy and grab the Halloween one and then use regions. And I don't remember how to do the region stuff. Is that good? Is that what I want? A rectangle. 16 by 16, I'm assuming. And oh no, sorry. X and Y is 16 by 16. This is like edit region. This is what I want. Duh. Oh. Okay. Can I grid snap this, please? I think that's what I want. That's one region. And then I want another region. Is that how do you add the region? Do I want to, you know what, we'll just, nope, we're going to just do this. This is the region we're using. And now we have a little icon. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, then I want to add a collision. Collision node. Collision shape will be good. This will be a circle. And we want to make this a bit bigger. Like so. Oh, that's really zoomed in though. Okay, so... Oh, that's right. It does need to be either a static body, a rigid body, character body, or an area 2D. What do I want here? Do we want it to be an area 2D? We could do a static body. I don't know if it needs to be a static body or a rigid body, because we trying to think how to make this work the simplest way possible. We need to be able to run into it, which means it needs to have some kind of collider, which means we need to be one of the shapes to support the collider. Is there a reason to use a area? Yeah, I think we want to do an area 2D. Yeah, we want to make it. We want to reparent to a new node, and that's going to be an area 2D. Yes, I think that's what we want. And we're going to move this guy down in here, like that. Okay. So on the area 2D, it needs to... What? What does it need to do? It needs to... When impact... Well, let's first of all... Why? Why'd I do... Why I do this? I'm in the wrong focus, clearly. You saw nothing? Okay, in the actual main scene, where is the actual main scene? Where did I leave that one? It's over here. If I put this in here, pick up. Is that too small? That's probably too small. Probably too small, I would say. So let's grab this sprite and do a transform scale of like 2. And then I want to modify the lighter a bit. All right, does that look a little better? A little better. We may need it a little bigger than that, but again, we will have to adjust the. Oh crap! Oh, it's Shoot, I'm supposed to meet somebody in in 3 minutes. Well, I totally lost track of time. We're gonna kick you over to Renzo. Nevertell is streaming. So let's just send you over there. I don't mean to like be really quickly to rush out the door, but I literally just realized that I have to be gone. I have to be out the door in like 2 minutes. So what? Why you know? Why you know? Why you know? Well, you know, trying to just trying to do the thing. Why? No, don't do that.
I've been good fella today. Having a good day.
Seriously? Did you just seriously do that?
I don't know so much about that.
Hold on.
Leave it to me.
I don't know where that window went, and you can hear it, I'm sure.
me.
There
I
it
have
is. Found
500
it. Give me a
bang.
second.
No. No.
Thank you. Can't believe you did that. Why did that not work though? Let me try that again. There we go. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone stop by. I will probably be continuing this this project shortly. So, but I do appreciate everyone who stopped by and fished and chatted, or just plain lurked. I will probably be back tomorrow. I'm guessing tomorrow. And at some point I do need to cover the stuff that I did during the Anime North. So, I will kick you over to the ending screen if you're not gonna raid out, and I will see you next time. But until then, I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, morning time, or whatever time zone you find yourself in, and I will see you next time.